From small snakes that can hurt you to large snakes that have enough poison to kill you, here are 8 of the most venomous snakes in the world. Number 8. South American rattlesnake. There are many snakes in South America, but the South American rattlesnake is known to be one of the most deadly things to live in the Amazon rainforest. Reasons being that they are a far-reaching species, plus they have at least 7 subspecies that have been documented, and every single one of them is dangerous in their own right. To be clear, these are pit vipers, and like rattlesnakes in other regions, they do not like to be disturbed. They'll coil up their bodies and make a hissing sound to let you know they're not pleased with your presence. And if you take too long to move or get too close to it, they'll lash out and bite you and inject you with their venom. The venom and its power depends on the snake you're getting bit by, but in many cases, it can result in impaired vision or complete blindness, auditory disorders, paralysis of the peripheral muscles, especially of the neck, which becomes so limp it appears to be broken, and eventually life-threatening respiratory paralysis. Arguably, what makes them even more deadly is that they can reach up to 5 feet in length, but because of their coloring, you won't notice them as you're walking through the forest. Number 7. King Cobra. The king cobra is, in fact, the longest venomous snake in the world today, and it's earned quite a reputation as a result of this fact. On average, the king cobra can reach around 13 feet in length, but they can also get up to 18 feet in length at times. Their trademark move is one that has become so legendary in TV and movies. The king cobra will actually stand up, raising its body vertically, and actually stare their prey in the eyes before striking them. Because of this, they can actually stand 6 feet in the air, the size of a rather tall human. The king cobra doesn't have the most potent venom in the world, but what it lacks in potency will make up in its volume. A single bite from a king cobra snake has enough venom to kill 20 people. Or if you combine that all, a single bite can kill an elephant. What might be the most ironic thing about this is that the snake is actually very shy and prefers to stay out of sight, especially around humans. But when it's trapped or threatened, it'll become the most aggressive thing around. Number 6. Common Krait. Within India, there's a series of snakes known as the Big Four that causes incredible pain and death to humans based on them being found in very popular places. One of those snakes is known as the common krait or Indian krait. Despite being called common, they're a very large snake, getting close to 6 feet in length, though the average height is closer to 3 feet. Also, despite being found a lot in India and causing many snake bites there, the common krait is known for being in places like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Afghanistan, and more. What might surprise you, though, is the eating habits of this snake. The common krait is actually a cannibal, as it goes after many other snake species, including other kraits. When that won't do, it will go after small mammals or eat things like lizards and frogs. In regards to its venom, this is where the deadliness of the snake comes from. Kraits are nocturnal, so they usually won't encounter humans during the day, but when they are less on edge at night. What's more, Kraits' bites don't hurt you initially, so you'll think you'll get away with getting bit, but that's not true. Typically, victims complain of severe abdominal cramps accompanied by progressive paralysis. If death occurs, it takes place about 4 to 8 hours after the krait bite. Cause of death is generally respiratory failure and suffocation. Just in Bangladesh, over 50% of all deaths from snake bites are caused by kraits. Number 5. Black Mamba. This is the largest venomous snake you can find in Africa, the feared black mamba. To be fair, on average, the black mamba usually reaches about 9 feet, but one was found to have been over 14 feet, which is well over double the size of a human. As if being venomous wasn't enough to make it feared, this snake is the fastest striking snake in the world, as it's able to strike over 12 miles per hour, and it's one of the most aggressive snakes out there today. So while many other snakes have more powerful venom, on the whole, the black mamba is the snake you don't want to meet. Even in its own habitat, it's not threatened by others. The black mamba doesn't have many predators it needs to look out for. If you still don't believe the power of the snake, then know that the venom of the black mamba is so powerful that it can cause a collapse or even death in people in only 30 minutes after being bit. Number 4. Sawscaled Viper. The Sawscaled Viper is a venomous snake that is part of a family of snakes known as the Ichthys. What separates this one out of its brethren is that it's responsible for the most human deaths in the world via snake bites. It doesn't have the most powerful venom in the world, not even close in some cases, but rather it's known for causing deaths because it's in populated areas within the Middle East and India. These are places that the anti-venom wouldn't be able to be distributed very easily. As for what the venom does, local symptoms include swelling and pain, which appears within minutes of the bite. In very bad cases, the swelling may extend up to the entire affected limb within 12 or 24 hours and blisters on the skin. The amount of venom pumped into its victims depends on the snake itself, which is why it's not the deadliest snake in the world. Should you get bit, you'll need to get one of the many anti-venoms, for it quickly will make you suffer very fatal consequences. Number 3. Russell's Viper. In India, there are many snakes, but several of the deadliest among them are found in the country, such as the Russell's Viper. It's a very dangerous and potently venomous snake that can be found in the country, and is known for being one of the snakes that causes the most deaths in humans. Deboya is also responsible for causing the most snakebite incidents and deaths among all venomous snakes, on account of many factors, such as their wide distribution, generally aggressive demeanor, and frequent occurrence in highly populated areas. Places you can find this viper include Asia throughout the Indian subcontinent, much of Southeast Asia, southern China, and Taiwan. If you're curious about the name, it was named after the famous scientist Patrick Russell. He liked to study amphibians and reptiles and was one of the people who helped identify many of the snakes that reside in India. What makes this viper so deadly is that unlike certain other snakes, they aren't afraid to truly inject people with lots of venom to make their point. What's more, when the venom gets in you, it's going to hurt. Envenomation symptoms begin with pain at the site of the bite, immediately followed by swelling of the infected area. Bleeding is a common symptom, especially from the gums and in the urine. The blood pressure drops and the heart rate fails. Blistering occurs at the site of the bite, developing along the affected limb in severe cases. Necrosis is usually superficial and limited to the muscles near the bite, but may be severe in extreme cases. Vomiting and facial swelling occur in about 1/3 of all cases. Number 2. Indian Cobra. Not to be confused with the king cobra, the Indian cobra is both one of the deadliest snakes in the world today, while also being one of the most popular snakes in Indian culture. If you're familiar with the scene of a snake charmer in movies, then you know the snake we're talking about. And yes, these snake charmers do indeed use Indian cobras in their act. They are dangerous as the Indian cobra is one of the big four that inflicts 46,000 deaths in people, and 140,000 more people are injured by them severely. The venom acts on the synaptic gaps of the nerves, thereby paralyzing muscles and in severe bites leading to respiratory failure or cardiac arrest. The venom components include enzymes such as hyaluronic that causes lysis and increase the spread of venom. Despite it being very deadly, if a person is bitten and then treated right away, they can be saved more times than not, so the mortality rate can be deferred. However, not all of India, where the snake is found in its majority, can receive that, and thus when combined with the rest of the big four, they tend to do a lot of damage. Number 1. Inland Taipan. The inland taipan has a very curious history with mankind, but in the modern day, it's considered by most to be the deadliest snake in the world due to its venom. This is actually not due to the number of people it killed over the years, but rather the amount of venom it secretes and the effects that it has on people and mice when it puts it into their system. An estimate as to its venomous power states that the inland taipan has enough venom in its body to kill 100 people. If untreated, a bite could result in death in less than 45 minutes. An irony about the snake was that it was found all the way back in 1879 and then in 1882 by 2 different explorers. After that, it vanished from the world for about 90 years and no one could find another one. It wasn't until 1972 that it was rediscovered and its deadly bite made it famous in the world once again. The first local and general symptoms of a bite are local pain and variable non-specific effects, which may include headache, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, dizziness, collapse, or convulsions leading to major organ effects. It also causes kidney failure or damage, and finally, death. Thanks for watching. What do you think of these venomous snakes? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye!